Put This On, Season 4, Episode 36, where we watch Lego Masters, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
Robert Kitts.
Lego Maxter.
Lego Beth.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
Welcome, everyone, to the greatest competition ever,
Yeah.
hosted by Will Arnett.
Produced by Brad Pitt.
Amazingly.
Did we go to the internet corner and confirm if it's the same Brad Pitt or not?
It's got to be the same Brad Pitt.
I
How
looked
many
at-
Brad Pitts are there?
I looked at the list of producers on IMDb, and Brad Pitt was not listed there, so I'm not sure. There's no Brad Pitt listed, famous or otherwise.
Questionable.
Lies.
Anyway, Lego Masters.
Does anyone have a show description? Are we unprepared?
I had the show description.
Okay, give it to us.
12 teams of 2 compete against each other in ambitious brick-building challenges to be crowned the country's most talented amateur Lego builders. That's Lego Masters on Fox.
Okay. What's a professional Lego builder versus an amateur Lego builder?
I think the difference is getting paid.
Well, you work at Lego. So, like, the people that make
No,
the
no.
Legos are called Lego Masters.
Right,
There's
but
like a whole certification process.
But I think,
Really?
but
Yeah.
I do think that the difference between an amateur Lego builder and a professional Lego builder is that you get paid money to build Legos if you're a professional Lego builder.
no,
right?
well,
So,
there
like-
is a thing called a Lego Master that you could go through the
Lego,
certificate.
but there's a professional Lego builder, not Lego
Yeah.
Master.
Yeah. Professional obviously means you get paid.
Right. Well, that was what the question was.
So,
I'm just
Chris,
distorting the.
you're saying that Lego Master is a title, like if I could knight you, or I could like turn you into a Lego Master.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
well, let's get into that later because I'm gonna do some internet corner on that while we're doing
Okay.
this because I meant to before the pod, but we didn't get there.
But yeah,
Well, let's go over this pod. The show. So the show is a standard competition show.
Very standard.
Very standard, except instead of, getting fish or like building some sort of pumpkin cake thing,
Monstrosity.
you're like building Legos.
It actually looks like it might take place in the exact same studio as MasterChef with the exact same production setup.
You guys know reality shows making pumpkin cake. you know.
Shows
Reality
we've done in the
shows.
last like month. So yeah, they get 15 hours to build some sort of amusement park challenge. We intro all the people, which there's way too many people on the show.
I think we didn't actually intro all the people,
Yeah.
partly because
Yeah.
there's way too many people.
I have everyone's name now, so everyone's name was said.
Everyone's name was on the
But
screen.
not everyone got a little segment.
No. And then there's like 2 like losers, and they were gonna kick one out, and then Will Arnett said nope. And then there was a winner, and that was the gist of the episode.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The easiest way to go through this is probably, we could talk about the intro with Will Arnett. Do you want to talk about Will Arnett for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Like, I think that he was very hit or miss, but some of his jokes did land pretty well. I thought.
Yeah. There is
Very-
sort of that Lego Batman connection already built in.
Yeah.
But he's very much channeling, I feel, Made It.
Yeah.
Like, very likable comedy NBC type as host works.
He's definitely leaning into Lego Batman. I think
yeah.
a lot of the jokes landed because of the Lego Batman thing.
Well, he wouldn't be the host of this if not for Lego Batman, right? Like, they clearly went to him because of that. And he's like, yeah, sure.
I'm confused.
How much? Oh, okay.
Is Will Arnett like? Is this his like? Is he bottom of the barrel now? Like, what is Will Arnett doing that he's like?
He's BoJack.
True,
He's
but
Lego Batman.
I think he's a voiceover artist and now voiceover artist / reality TV show host. Like, I think that's what he does.
Wait a sec. Isn't he married to Made It lady?
We'll go to the internet corner. We'll answer
Internet.
the question.
I don't know. Yeah.
Are you talking about Amy Poehler?
Yeah.
I think that they might be, actually. I think you're right about that.
Spouses: Amy Poehler, August 2003 to August 2016.
No.
What?
Done.
Oh no.
Wow.
Divorced.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a real power couple there for a bit.
Does he have a new spouse?
It does. It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
I definitely thought he was pretty good in this show, though. I mean, it seems like he's like pretty funny. Like I think that he helps the show be less self-serious. Like this show could have the potential to take itself way too seriously
Yeah.
and be really nerdy about like Legos and all this stuff. But I think that him being there and him kind of not taking it as seriously kind of helps it be more palatable.
Well, I mean, that's what the host is supposed to do.
No, I know, but I'm just saying there are some reality shows where
Oh,
like
yeah.
they take it like, super seriously.
Yeah, we've seen those.
Yeah.
They're not very good.
right.
You definitely need the host to set the tone, the right tone for the show, and let the judges be the two real people.
Yeah.
Like in this show, we've got Jamie and Amy are the two judges, and they are two Lego masters that work at Lego that make like I forget what Amy made like some sort of girls line, and I don't know what the other guy made.
She made like Lego Friends, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm.
I don't remember exactly what they said they made, though. Will Arnett says that Jamie made the 2019 Toy of the Year, then didn't elaborate on what that was. I was like, can you tell me a little more on that, Will?
The interesting thing about Lego Friends is they don't use the like minifigs. They were like bigger like
Oh.
dolls.
Wait, what are Lego Friends?
That's the thing that Amy made.
I don't know what they are though.
I
They're
don't know
not,
what they
they're
are
not
either.
like Legos.
They are Lego. I mean, just like they aren't using
Okay.
minifigs. They're using like
Okay.
bigger.
There are a lot of Lego types and pieces that are on display here that I am not familiar with. Lego has
sure.
certainly evolved past since the point that I was building them, and yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the how the toys that made us Lego?
No.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Like, there's definitely times where Lego almost went bankrupt multiple times, which is weird how big Lego was and is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess another thing that happens before this whole show even starts is they do this season on before anything.
Yeah.
It happened last week too.
So this is the thing we got is like last week we did 90 Day Fiance the other way, and we spent a good couple minutes talking about, man, they did this season on right at the start of the show. I can't think of another show that did that. Boom! 1 week later, Lego Masters, same thing.
Is this a new thing? It's bad.
It's
It's
the
awful.
new thing.
I
It's
don't know.
awful.
I think other shows do this.
They do this season on at the end of the episode. Do they do it at the start of the episode?
Are You the One does it at the start of the episode, but I like the way they do it because it's a quick cut, like sort of starting at the end of the season, going backwards to the beginning of the season, and the clips are so short you don't really get a sense of what happened. It's just like someone's crying, like someone's jumping, like whatever, and it zooms back.
I have very important news.
'Kay.
Yes.
I know a master builder. I just discovered
What?
Did you,
A
on LinkedIn?
master builder or a Lego master?
a Lego master builder.
Ah.
There's a guy I work with who I know used to work on Lego Mindstorms 20 years ago. So out of curiosity, like I Googled him and I found a picture of him. Clearly him, but like 20 years younger, like with the caption, "Hi, I'm blah 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 blah, Lego master builder, blah 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 blah, Lego Mindstorms." I don't know.
Wow.
I'm so happy I know this now.
Can you, while we're talking, can you look up how you become a Lego master?
I mean, I'll just ask him.
During the podcast?
That does not help us on the pod. Like, if you don't want to do it, I'll do it. It's
Here,
fine.
I'll do it. I'll do it, Chris.
I think I know how. He's Danish, so I think it just like comes with being born in
you just get
Denmark.
that passport.
You just go to Lego school and
Yeah.
I mean, to roll it back to this is I don't like it because I don't know any of the people. I don't know the format of the show. It's just like random clips of stuff that makes there's no context. It's bad.
You know, at some point during the season, someone's Lego falls over, and you're just waiting for that moment.
Yeah, but like I'd have a better idea of who it is and like be more invested. Like makes me uninvested in the show.
Oh my gosh, guys, I have a fact. This is an outdated fact. This is from 2014, but it's a fact. As of 2014, how many Lego Master Builders were there in the whole world?
Like active.
That's a
love
follow-up
that
question
your
I'm not
question.
prepared for. I'll say yes.
I
I think that's what it means.
I'm gonna say active is like 12.
75.
5,000.
40.
It's 40.
Wow.
Did you know this?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It was 47 were Americans. Builders are handpicked by Lego, employed at the Discovery Centers. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. In most cases, they have to start from the bottom and work their way up. Only the most skilled Lego artisans achieve the honor of Master Builder.
Some sort of Drake situation.
Oh, for sure.
A new hire starts as an apprentice builder, a glue minion. According to one young peon who works at Legoland, Florida, they spend long hours adhering thousands of pieces together and work on maintaining the park's sculptures and exhibits. From there, a promising apprentice is promoted to a senior builder. The pay bumps up to $10 to $12 an hour, and more duties are assigned, constructing models, overseeing daily procedures, and shadowing master builders. Wow.
How much does a
Wow.
master builder make? Like
Let's
15
see.
bucks an hour?
Oh, well, the pay is $37,500 a year.
To be a master builder?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not stellar
Rough.
for, as this article says, for a position that requires a tremendous amount of patience, energy, and time.
Man.
You gotta really love Lego.
The Lego
Oh,
movie made it seem a
man.
lot cooler than that.
It also
Oh, yeah.
says you don't have true creative freedom. Most of your jobs are premeditated or corporate affiliated themes like Superman, Spider-Man, Star Wars.
Yeah, like your job as a master builder is just to make the sets. So you're
Yeah.
given a, hey, don't spend too much money on new pieces. You can't make new pieces. It's got to be easy to build. Like that's not like a, hey, get a giant box of stuff and make whatever you want.
No.
Like
Right.
that's not that job. Like maybe sometimes you get to make like a display. Like if you go to the Lego store, there's like displays.
Maybe once like you're like a really high up master builder, you can pitch like a new line or something. And you're like, all right.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think this master builder just sounds like it's a cool name for something that's not cool. Like,
Yeah. Also,
Guys, there's a level above master builder.
What is
It's a
it?
Lego certified professional.
Oh.
Even more
Oh.
selective. As of this article, 2014, there were 12 of them.
oh,
Wow.
Didn't Max guess 12?
they have a certification that only 12 people hold. It's pretty wild.
All right, let's go. let's go
Lego
back to-
endorses
we got-
their
we got-
skills, giving
Alright.
them access to buy bricks in bulk.
All right,
Wow.
all right, Noah, I think we got
All
it.
right, we got to move back to this. So they announced this challenge, right? And they say the challenge winner gets this thing, and Will Arnett points, and then this car, this
A
really
Lamborghini.
comes out, like making it seem like they were going to win a Lamborghini. And she's like, "No, not the car." And they open the trunk, and it's just a giant pile of money. And he's like, "It's not the money." And in the middle is this giant Lego brick that then they open, and inside is a tiny gold Lego piece, and that's what you win for winning this
It was
challenge.
very Willy Wonka, I felt. The golden bricket.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
So at any point, did they actually say what the prize for winning the show is?
No,
Experience.
I did
Like,
not hear what
do
the
you-
stakes were.
Do you get a job as a master builder and like it's supposed to sound cool and then we realize it's not cool? Like, it's very strange. Like at one point I was like, "Well, you win the brick," and it's like for winning this challenge. Like, okay, so what do you win for the whole thing? And then it never came up.
You
Damn
get
it,
nothing.
Will!
you get the title of Lego Master of TV. The
Honestly,
TV Lego Master.
it might be you win Lego
might
Master,
be.
and here's a free, year supply of Lego. Go have fun. and that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
it.
Maybe
I want to know those stakes.
Maybe you get to like do an exhibit for Lego.
I mean, I can see that.
That'd be kind of cool.
All right. So this challenge was they had like 8 different pieces.
10,
Of,
but yes.
or was it 10?
12.
Are there 10 teams?
There are 12. Oh, wait.
10 teams.
10
teams?
So they had 10. So you have to build an amusement park on a piece of like, it's hard to describe. They had a giant thing that split into 10 that had like a monorail all the way around it.
Mm-hmm.
You got a piece and you had to make an amusement park with a running ride on your
moving
section.
ride.
Moving ride on your section
Yeah.
of your amusement park. And they wanted creativity and something else.
Storytelling. Got to tell a story
Tell
with
us-
your Lego.
Okay. So that was the challenge. And Harrison, how long did they have to build this amusement park?
15 hours. 15 hours.
That's so long. I think the only competition we have there is Barbecue Pitmasters, which is kind of a dawn to dusk situation.
Yeah, I mean, like that's
But-
that's in the neighborhood. Like this is pretty unheard of. I mean, blown away the glass blowing one. That was maybe like 5 or 6 hours or something. But like this is just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
this is a long, long day. Like, not only like are you normally only up for like 16 hours a day, like not only you have to do makeup, get you set up. It's not like this is 8 a.m. in the morning. You start a 15-hour challenge.
Oh yeah. How many? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about production logistics, I think.
It's
As we
time.
do.
How
as we
many
do.
of these are they shooting a week? How many 15-hour build days are they making these people do in a week?
Next time on, it seemed like there was an 11-hour challenge
Okay.
instead of 15.
But still.
So,
how
like-
many of
Still,
these
like,
big builds do you do in a week?
You do a 15-hour challenge, and then you got to come back the next day and do an
Oh, yeah.
11-hour
No
challenge.
way.
Like,
This is a Survivor thing. You're like, oh, we're just piling it up. We're just going. You're going.
You gotta
you're
have a
going.
day off.
But,
If
like-
not for them, for Will Arnett.
so for the 15
There's
hou-
no way he's working like that.
Well, okay. Well, let's get into that.
Yeah.
How long is Will Arnett there? Because like
Good question.
he's definitely talking to them when they've built some stuff, and talking to them when they haven't built some stuff, and so like there's clearly like he's there for. They make it seem like he's there the whole time. Is he really there the whole time?
Well,
Let me
I feel like
propose to
he-
you what's happening.
Okay, please do.
Is like this is filmed in L.A. or California, wherever.
Oh yeah,
And
LA,
like
for sure.
Will Arnett has some other job, so he shows up at this job in the morning for like hour or whatever, goes and like does some voiceover work, and comes back at the end of the day just to like,
No way.
oh yeah,
No way.
No way.
he's not
He's
sitting around
gotta-
for 15 hours.
He's definitely
He's
not-
got to be there when stuff happens. Like, you don't know when something's going
Right.
to pop off in this Lego situation. Like, I think he's not actively on the floor the whole time, but he is in that building the
I
whole
think
time.
he is there for more than half the time, and when he's not doing it, he goes to his trailer and he takes a nap.
Yes.
I think
We have no way to confirm or deny this, so like I'm not going to argue
I'm
about
gonna
it.
tweet him.
I just don't believe you.
Will Arnett, if you're listening, come on the pod
Tell
and tell us the production schedule. So, do they actually did like? So they did this intro where they brought out the car and Will Arnett's goofing off with the early stuff, and then they have to do the judging, and they each had to show off their thing. Was that all the same day? Because like that's like a 20-hour day at that point. Like, or did they actually film the judging on a different day? They're like, all right, you're done. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll do it. And so when they're showing off these moving pieces, like
Yeah.
they've been sitting there all night and stuff. Because
That's possible for sure. I mean, because you're definitely looking at least a 20-hour day. I mean, like
I have no
that
idea how this
crew,
production schedule
like
works.
like that crew, like you're gonna have to have like multiple shifts for the crew and stuff. Like,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you're shooting for so long.
Yeah. I would also, if I was competing that long, I would be delirious by the end of it, I think.
These people didn't look that delirious.
They did.
Yeah.
I
And they filmed these like testimonial kind of things, like confessional kind of things of the people, and they're like wearing the same outfits. Like, was that the same day too?
I mean, they may have made them wear the same outfits again.
They
do they get
could've.
do they get food? Like, how much time do you
They
have? Like,
must get food.
because the judges were like, you got 15 hours. That sounds like a lot of time. It's not as much time as you think. You gotta move.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but I also can't imagine being like, I've been working on Lego for 12 hours and I haven't eaten anything. Like, I'm just dying.
All right, so let's go. The production schedule is what it is. Let's move to the people. So let's go over the people we met. So first couple we get introduced to is Jesse and Kira from the Ozarks.
Oh, the old ladies.
They- hair?
These are the old ladies, the duck people.
Yeah.
Ah.
May or may not be the screenshot of the episode.
So
Chris, I don't need their real names. I just need who are they?
I'm getting there. The real names are first, though. Okay, you hold on a second. I'll tell you what their ride was, or amusement park was. So initially they were going to do duck based.
Duck,
and,
duck, duck.
And they spent like 6 hours staring at duck things. And then the one like Kira or somebody was like, I don't get it. This sucks. And then they switched it up to Journey Through Dreams. So they just like had different esoteric. They had like a pirate thing, some other thing. I don't know.
Dreams, you know.
Dreams.
Pirate dreams.
There were
space dreams.
There were at least 4 of these amusement parks that were dream themed in some way. It was
Well,
crazy.
The whole thing was called Dream Park.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Dream Park
Maybe that
theme
might have
Oh,
caused
they-
some of these themes.
They inceptioned them into
Damn.
dreams.
I didn't even
or
realize that they
something.
incepted me.
They had like what I thought was like the worst moving ride. It was just like this thing that spun. It was like a spaceship that spun, and I was like, "What kind of ride is that?"
Yeah.
And like they didn't even mention it. I was like, "Okay, I guess we're moving on from that."
you know what? It was functional.
I mean,
Like-
it was the least. It was the most. It was the least useful thing. Like all you did was spin it.
It was the worst functional one,
Right.
probably. and they didn't really get a lot of scrutiny because there were like 3 of them that we're gonna get to that were just straight broken. But like,
Yeah.
Those things, like they checked the box to make it functional, which was enough to make them weren't in the bottom.
yeah,
But if they'd all been functional, they probably would have been in the bottom.
yeah.
There
I
was
mean, like,
also-
I think it's certainly. I was kind of wondering at the beginning, like how, like what's really the noticeable difference between a 15-hour build and a 13-hour build or whatever. Right? But like, you could notice that like them only taking like 9 hours instead of 15 to build theirs. Like it was pretty sparse.
We'll get to that. Somebody else also has some.
But
Oh, yeah.
we couldn't believe it when they're like, they've been working on this duck thing for 7 hours. They're like, maybe we just got to start over the new theme. It just seemed like, oh my God.
And there were like no bricks laid down.
there were some,
There were
but
some
there was
bricks. There was
sparse.
another team that also like many hours in, nothing has been done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
We're getting to them. I can tell Chris can't wait to talk about them.
She also said that bigger the hair, closer to God, which I thought
Yeah.
was like the best. That was the only quote I wrote down the whole episode.
That was good.
She has some wild hair. She has some crazy facial reactions, and seems like she's kind of dominating that team a little bit.
They cut to her so often. The producers definitely want her on the show as long as possible.
I think that one of the keys to success on reality TV is just have great facial reactions because every time stuff happens, they're going to you. I mean, like there's just people like that in every show.
Yeah. So our next pair is Manny and Nesser,
The father and son.
father and son from Bethlehem / what did they say, Puerto Rico or something?
Yeah.
I mean, they're Puerto Rican. I don't think they actively live in Puerto Rico.
No, it said in their intro where they were from, and I think it said Bethlehem. Anyway, this is the other quote I wrote. They asked Manny to describe his dad in one word, and he was like, "Awesome dad." Great one word. They did the Team G Dream Park, which is whatever,
Team G.
and they made a roller coaster that didn't function.
It would go up and go down and then just stop.
Yeah, there's no like actual moving part there.
Yeah, they just kind of they start the roller coaster at the top of the track. It only goes about halfway through the track, and they're just merp.
Merp, merp.
At least like they swung by and was like, that roller coaster doesn't go anywhere. It like just started at once, like at the end of their thing.
Yeah,
Or
the-
like it ended at the end of their thing,
Yeah, yeah.
launching their car into the abyss.
The judge like tried to help them out. He came by. He's like, you guys have to have a functional ride, right? And they're just like, yeah, and then they just never did it.
Yeah, they,
It reminded me of Roller Coaster Tycoon, the video game, where you could like build a ride where the cars would lose momentum and just not work. But that's
just
what these
fly
men
off,
did.
yeah, they were in the bottom third or bottom 2, and I'm not sure if they would be the ones kicked off for the other people. The other ones looked really bad.
We'll have a debate after we
Yeah,
talk
we'll
about
get
it.
to
We'll,
it.
we'll get back to it when we talk
So-
about
Well, these people were very heartwarming, this father and son. They really love each other, and during the judging, the dad said it was the best thing to ever happen to them in their lives. So, being
And-
on this show.
it. And they both broke down in tears, just talking about how happy they were to be there. Which, all right, so let's jump to it. They weren't getting eliminated, Chris.
Yeah, you can't eliminate them after that.
They knew what they had to do with their non-functional roller coaster, and then they I think they got the job done.
Definitely.
We'll never know for sure, but I'm pretty confident.
Maybe that's why they didn't kick anyone off, because like these are the people that should have been kicked
Like,
off.
we
and they're like, we
cannot.
can't kick them off.
Well, I actually wonder if like that they didn't do the full intro to everybody. If they're just like they'll do the other half of the intros in the second episode, but they never kicked anyone off. So
That makes sense.
this was
now.
the plan all along. Just like, gosh, you got so many freaking people to intro. Like, how do we?
Yeah.
We need more time.
Yeah.
And credit to them, they didn't make us suffer through the 2-hour premiere.
That is definitely like the one thing that I really like when we go over these is like the intro half the people, and then the next time the intros the next half of the people.
Yeah.
You know, with this one you were supposed to kick somebody off, so like I mean, I can't fault you for not. But next we've got Tyler and Adam. They were newlyweds,
Ooh.
where Tyler was super into Lego
Legos.
and. Or was it? I don't know which one's the male and female of this part. It doesn't matter. Then they did Funny Farm.
Yeah.
What does it? What does
What
this
a great,
mean?
great.
They made a sign that said "Money Farm" and then it's kind of crossed out, and then it just says "Funny Farm."
And they said something about how the animals took over.
Yeah.
But then the
Animals to
animals
take
wrote that.
What's
Yeah.
a better theme, Funny Farm or Duck?
I thought Duck 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 was gonna be awesome.
I thought the
actually.
duck bark would have looked good.
I was
Except
pumped.
they were so hooked on just everything being yellow
Yep.
that like
Yeah.
it just needed to be other colors and the ducks being yellow.
It's also weird because like when I think of ducks, I don't really think of yellow. I think of
Me
white.
neither.
Or I think of like the cool ones with the gray and the green.
But like if I think of
A
ducks, I
mallard.
think
A
of the
mallard.
like duck in the bathtub.
Yeah,
kinda
they're
yellow.
definitely in the rubber duck
Yeah,
zone.
Rubber duck.
Well, it also seemed that these ladies both had like a loose grasp on what ducks look like because Will Arnett came over to talk to them, and one of the ladies looked at him and she was like, "Where are the duck's wings?" And she was sort of gesturing like where she thought the wings should go.
He's like, "Are you? Are you asking me a question?"
All right, back to Tyler and Adam.
How'd they get to Duck Duck Duck?
I don't know.
When they were saying duck, 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 I thought they were going. It was going to pivot to duck, duck, goose at some point, and then,
Me too.
and then it never went there.
So Tyler and Adam's functional ride was a drop ride, which just went up
It just
from what all we saw.
it doesn't drop.
Didn't see it drop.
So questionable.
It doesn't look fun.
But functional. Check the box.
So slow.
Well, there's a couple of, so we got like, so A, Will Arnett comes over to see them right away, and they just have this big long kiss in front of Will Arnett, and he just like makes a face at the camera and walks away, which was very strange. And then the guy was talking about how just like, he's like, I love Lego, and then she's just really gotten into my passion, and like all the things I really love are here. And there was just this like, I'm concerned about your relationship dynamic. And how
Troubling.
the experience of being on Lego Masters is going to be for your long-term success. in the
Sure,
release.
sure.
She seemed into it. So like
I mean,
agree.
as
She
the,
was
as
into
the
it.
episode went on, she seemed more into it. But then, as it was alluded to, they're 2 hours in. They had not built a single thing. Adam's just like on this iPad, like doodling
He
ideas.
was writing words like he had a list of 4 bullet points, and one was
Egg.
egg. One was like farm.
it's so
I mean, that was what they created.
Hey,
It was.
here's the thing: they took the time to plan it right first. They didn't do what the duck people did and throw it in the garbage after 7 hours.
Yeah.
I don't
fair,
know.
Fair.
Who else we got?
After Tyler and Adam, we've got Christian and Aaron. They did Spaceland.
Oh
With
yeah.
a Ferris wheel and a swing ride.
Spoilers. They did well.
They won.
2 functional rides.
And they
And-
looked really cool.
Two functional rides and probably the best functional ride. That Ferris
Yeah.
wheel
It was
was
really
top
good.
notch.
It was impressive and well themed, I think.
Yeah.
And they started building it like right away. Like when we saw those people had written down 4 bullet points, you can see sort of in the same shot these people have already built their Ferris wheel.
Yeah, they built the Ferris wheel first. And they're like, okay, we got that. Now let's
Yeah.
build everything else around
It-
it, which was really smart.
Good strategy.
It's crazy to me that all the teams didn't just build their ride first because it is the only hard requirement and it's going to be the hardest thing that you do. So you build that ride first and you spend as much the rest of the time you have just decorating and stuff. Like, it's crazy.
That's what these people did.
Definitely.
But I get a sense that like most of these people have never actually done a movable thing. So the movable thing was the last thing they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I also get the sense that a lot of these people have maybe not competed in timed building competitions before.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee. I know one. Like what kind of Lego timed competition is there?
That underground Lego battle scene, man.
This is how it comes up on other reality shows too. Like sometimes I'll be watching a RuPaul's Drag Race and someone won't know how to sew, and it's like you knew you were gonna go on this show. Similarly, on this show, like you're on a Lego show, like you should know how to make the stuff move.
I mean, this is the first season, so I give some people a pass.
Yeah, but if you got accepted onto this Lego show, like you'd just be looking up everything people do with Legos. You'd want
I
to be
don't know.
familiar with all these parts and stuff, right?
I would say if the show didn't tell them, hey, study up on, Lego, all the gear stuff, Lego Technica,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Yeah, I don't think I blame them, but who knows? They're not making it far from what we can tell.
This is
Unless
true.
the
They will be
producer-
cut.
Unless the producers are like, oh, people don't know this, let's not do a moving one anymore. But moving ones are really cool. Like,
Yeah.
Without the moving, it's just kind of boring, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, we talked about like different kind of Lego pieces. Like I've never seen Lego of the stuff you built the Ferris wheel out of. Like it didn't look like
Yeah.
you'd think Lego looks
It
like.
looked like Connects more than Lego.
It
like,
did.
Yeah.
Connects.
I wonder one of the weeks is it going to be the Duplo challenge?
Oh, they have to bring in the Duplo.
I mean, the Ferris wheel they also mentioned was like they used like a specific brick that like only came in one length. So like
Yeah.
that was just like it had to be that diameter because that's the only way that this brick works.
That guy was like really impressed by that, but like to me, the way that it was explained, it seems like that would be the easiest way to do it. Is just to build out of all things that are the same length. I don't know, like I just
Yeah, it definitely seems like when we were growing up, like it connects. Like the Ferris wheel's like one of the big things that they were selling. Like,
yeah. I mean, I built that Connects Ferris wheel. It was great.
Was it
Very fun.
functional?
It was well. It wasn't. So it wasn't motorized.
Oh.
So
That
it
was a
wa-
great-
It wasn't
it wa- well.
motorized. It's more of like a crank kind of situation.
Oh, okay.
what about the roller coaster? Did you build a roller coaster?
I didn't build the roller coaster.
Have you guys ever done these like motorized Legos?
Oh yeah.
I have
Really? How are they?
I
Is it hard?
I didn't do like giant things like this. It's more like you have sort of a little computer brick that has like sort of light sensors and motors and stuff, and you can like basically this is going to be really fun for people on listening over audio. But basically, you have a left camera and a right camera, or sorry, a left camera, right light sensor, and you can sort of have it follow a line by like turning the other way every time it hits a white area. I don't know. It's
okay.
hard to explain, but fun to
Cool.
do. Yeah.
All right. On that note, we've got Crystal and Amy. They did Fairy Wonderland. They had a carousel as their moving ride.
Were these the people with dyed hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
They're the
cosplay,
fairy-
people?
Cosplay crew.
Yeah.
The Fairy Wonderland.
Fairy
There's-
Wonderland.
This is one of the people that didn't get any airtime. Barely.
They told
any.
us that they were trying to break into the male-dominated Lego scene.
Yeah.
I think that's about all we heard from them,
We assume they'll get more airtime next week.
presumably.
Presumably,
Their thing looked okay
because they said there's not many women in Lego for now.
for now. They had some. Was this the one that had the story about their park where, like, every time you ride a ride in the park, you get a crystal?
Yes.
And then you can
Yeah.
do stuff with the crystals, and all their little figures were carrying just piles of crystals.
They were specifically complimented on their storytelling with the Lego figures.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Amy the Master was more focused on how you're doing with the storytelling, while Jamie the Master was the structural engineer, like on your
Yeah.
technical design kind of thing.
There's definitely a thing here with the theme. Like the Dream People, the theme was like I can't believe anyone got praises on their theme. Like you just put together different themes, like nothing. Like
Yeah.
this fairy one, that was cool. Like the crystals and stuff definitely like made it come to more life than like just like, oh, there's pirates and because there's pirate minifigs and there's like space minifigs, so there's a space section. Like that's boring.
It's just yeah. You're having mini themes.
Yeah. The next team we have is Mark and Boone from Portland. They did Timbertown.
Oh my god.
This was the best one. They had this giant roller coaster that we saw working,
fully functional,
and then they moved it, and
not
it broke.
functional.
But it looked awesome.
It was incredible. It was like a giant, beautiful tree with like leaves and stuff, and the trunk is an elevator that brings the roller coaster up to the top, and then it sort of goes down.
It was
Fuck,
great.
it cool.
It was really
And-
impressive. Like the roller coaster, like you brings it to the top, will go down and come back, where it then can bring itself up. Like it was like it could be like perpetual motion kind of thing. It seemed like, which was
Yeah.
incredible.
It was really cool.
The theme was also really good. They did a really good job of just like building a roller coaster and then building things around the roller coaster that looked cool. Just very unfortunate that it broke because they definitely would have won if it
Yeah.
worked.
Well, it's an interesting thing about like, is there something about the fact that like you have to move this thing before you're done to put it back in position, and that's part of the strategy of you got to be careful building your thing of when I move it, what's going to happen, and that there's actually like something about their whole plan that they didn't factor that in, and it was like fatally flawed. I wonder,
Well,
or if it might be bad luck. I don't know. I'm no Lego master, so.
there's definitely a thing where like if you are like the Lego master, like Jamie and Amy or whatever, they're like making products for people to build that they're sold. Like so, the fact that this roller coaster wasn't robust is like not good for like that kind of job. If that's like the goal of this thing,
Which
So
we still don't know.
we don't really know. But yeah, I really liked, and they were really cool. Like they had cool personalities. They were fun. They were
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
They
had
seem like cool guys.
they had a fun beard video where like they're like real men have beard and just like beards, and it was just because I have one, so that was kind of nice to connect with them.
Yeah. They said, guys with beards really connect with each other. And they started rubbing each other's beards. It was very odd.
It was great.
They also
They're
seem
not
like
wrong.
some of the best friends on here.
Oh, yeah.
Like they really liked each other. We will talk about some other people who have weird relationships.
I mean, we already talked about a couple, but I know who you're
It's true.
referring to.
There's one in particular that is sort of chilling to watch.
So we've got your favorite couple, Sam and Jessica. They did Sugar Hill, and they had their moving ride was a bumper car.
That broke after about 4 seconds. It
And was very violent while it lasted.
was a really odd idea for a thing to move and a very weird mechanism. It was, imagine like 2 chopsticks just like moving apart and then back together again.
That's
It was
actually a great
so
way to
janky.
describe it.
Yeah.
I thought it was more of a circular motion, but yeah, I don't
It
know.
was just weird.
I
But-
mean, this is definitely a case where they built the whole thing, then they're like, "Oh shit, we have to have a ride," and they kind of scrapped it together in the last hour or two. And the guy, he said that had never built anything that moves with Legos before, so it was all on her to figure it out. Basically.
Well, I don't think she had either.
she had like a little bit of experience. It seemed like, I don't know, but
It definitely seemed like he just threw his hands up and was like, "I'm working on this other thing. I can't help you. I can't help. I don't know. I can't help you. I can't help
Well,
you."
let's, like, what's their relationship to each other?
They met at a Lego convention.
No, they met
Right?
through the Lego community.
Through
Yeah.
the Lego community.
I
You're
believe
right. You're
online,
right.
and I'm not sure they'd ever met in person before.
it's got to be on those Lego message boards.
So their exact words is, "We've never built together," and I take that to mean they've never met. Because I assume if they'd met, the first thing they would have done is
Yeah.
built something together.
yeah.
How did this happen?
Maybe
How
they
did
bet.
they never build together? Here's another. This goes back to my question about how people are alerted that they're going to be on this show. Did they know that they were going to be with each other on this show and they didn't build something first?
I think they applied together.
Yeah, they must just be online buddies from the Lego message boards. They're like, "Did you hear about this thing? We got to apply for it." And then they got it, and they're like, "I guess I'll see you in LA."
100% that's
So
what happened.
Did you not
they
have
live
to
in the
make
same
a
place?
video together? Like, isn't that part of the
Who
audition
knows?
process?
Maybe they met through. They applied separately.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh,
and then they got
maybe.
put together.
Maybe it was part of their pitch that they met through the Lego community, and that's kind of like their unique whatever.
I like where it's going. Was there a Lego singles lane for this show? And you're like,
Maybe.
apply as a team of 2, or apply individually, and you might get paired up.
Well, what if they
But
did?
then that goes to, I want this Lego dating show. I want that very much.
Well, we can talk about the doppelganger
That's what I want.
possibilities. But so this is the thing, like the part of their problem was that they never built together, so they didn't have good cohesion, and so they're like, we got to build something that moves, and couldn't come up with a good plan
Yeah.
to execute it.
They should have just done a spinning like car or something. Like,
Yeah, they should have done what
Totally.
what the what's her name did.
yeah, this is like
and got the credit for it. At least it was functional.
Or they,
They
could have
didn't
done.
even-
I think they could have gotten away with a roller coaster that's not motorized, but at least like if you started at the top, it goes all the way down.
But how are you going to do that without it being motorized?
I
That's
think you
just
just
not how
put the
that's
whole
going to
car
work.
there.
But I think they wanted it to go down and then come back around or something. So like I
okay.
think that was their original feedback
Okay.
to the Sun Dad team was I think they had a roller coaster went down and then it just like went off the edge of the world into nothing.
Well, that's
and-
definitely a problem. But I thought maybe they would be okay if at least it went all the way around the track.
But
Hmm.
it can't go all the way around the track because that's not how.
Well,
that's not how momentum.
No,
works.
but like if it was built with like a stopping dock or something.
Okay,
I don't know.
here's how I would solve this. You ever see Back to the Future Part 3?
Yes.
Where you have to push the car with the train. So basically, you want to get the roller coaster to go on the monorail track, and then
Oh, I like this.
keeps going.
Okay.
All right,
Oh.
next couple, next partners we got here, Mel and Jermaine
Good
from
name.
Maryland, and they did the Egyptian themed.
Oh yeah, we never really get to talk to
We-
these
I
people.
never-
not a lot of
It
airtime.
looked cool, and they were the only one to use lights in their setup. Which, if lights were available, why wasn't everyone using lights on their
Yeah.
amusement park? It's crazy.
Because they built a big Lego Sphinx that had glowing eyes.
It was
and
great.
pretty
So
cool.
Somehow I just completely missed all of this.
They weren't
They
on
look
very
cool.
much.
Wait, was this the guy who's a cop?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
This was the
these
cop.
are the cop people.
This is like the only sentence we hear him say is something about how it's funny cop putting together Legos.
He was
Yeah.
wearing some sort of police uniform.
Yeah.
It's very
It
weird.
didn't look like a real police uniform, kind of,
was
but he
like
was
a
wearing some
t-shirt.
kind of police apparel.
That should be pretty funny if he's not a cop and he just showed up to Lego Master wearing a
Cop
cop
build with
uniform.
Legos.
Maybe next week he's gonna be a firefighter.
What if everyone? What if they didn't say anything about it, but everyone on this was wearing a costume that someone wears in the Lego movies? Like this guy's Liam Neeson.
Ooh, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
I like that.
So our next team is Richard and Flynn. They did Spooky Town.
Spooky Town.
They
I
were
like
in.
Spooky Town.
They were in. I think even less than Mel and Jermaine. Like I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah.
Their only screen time was they told Will Arnett they're putting in a spider, but accidentally said bat, and then he's like, "Bat would be better." Wink, wink at the camera,
Like
and then
I,
they were off the show.
I don't even know.
Well,
And then they did a bat.
and then they end up with a bat. Yeah,
And it kind of like moves and flaps its wings. It looks pretty cool.
It
it
was
looked
cool.
awesome, actually.
I
I
don't
liked
remember
Spooky
theirs at
Town a
all.
lot.
It's a good theme.
Yeah,
was
I
their
mean, it's a
moving
better
thing?
theme.
What was
than
the moving
Dream.
thing in Spooky Town again?
I don't know.
The moving thing?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just the bat.
No.
I think they did have something else.
There was
they
a
had
lot of-
something. I
But
don't
they,
know.
for
Yeah.
some reason, the producers hated these people and gave us like 3 seconds.
Well, I wonder if it means they're going far. Like we'll see more of them.
Maybe.
We gotta
or
focus.
the opposite.
We gotta focus on crazy, never met before couple because they're not long for this world.
Are they on the spectrum? The crazy people that I've never met before. They seem on the spectrum.
I'm not gonna.
I don't know if we can comment on that, but so then we've got Travis and Corey, our last team. They did Lazy Town, or Daydream or something.
Lazy Town.
Lazy Town is like a trademark.
Was
Lazy
there a
Town?
Lazy Town?
No, I think they renamed it to Daydream.
Oh, okay.
Which they had some sort of spinny ride. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
It
what I wrote
blends
down.
together with all the other Dream ones. Not
Yeah.
memorable.
Some kind
Yeah,
of
exactly. The Dream ones are not
They
memorable at
checked
all.
the box of a functional moving thing, and,
Yeah.
and we never talked about them
Like
again.
people took the dreams like theme way too literally. It's like you don't want an amusement park that is the theme of it is dreams. You want like the whole thing to be like, you know,
You go to different dreams.
you go to different dreams. It's,
like
yeah.
if you just chose pirates.
yeah,
great.
that's great.
Yeah.
Pirate
That-
Dream, great.
Great.
Like
spooky dream.
it's not just like it's not like make a theme park about the concept of dreaming. It's just
Like
crazy.
they had Space Town. Great. Space
yeah,
Town.
great.
Perfect.
Like you don't need to overthink this. Like don't get
Like
Don't
Fairy
overthink
Town.
it. Duck.
it's like
duck,
that-
duck, duck.
that is by far like it seems like at least this week is really like a don't overthink it, like on the theme, like just pick something that makes sense and is easily identifiable. When like they first started on this thing and part of the challenge was to make a functional ride, somebody in here said like, oh, they should make a Ferris wheel, and I was kind of like, that seems too obvious. That's like the standard like Lego, amusement park ride thing, but like that was the best one. So I don't know.
And only
It's-
one person tried that.
Right, only one person did
Can
it.
you buy a Ferris wheel? Do they sell like a movable Ferris wheel?
I don't know.
Probably not.
ride.
Probably not.
Like I
Those
don't think
connects
they
you.
do. Like I don't know how many like movable sets they actually sell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like what I remember, the like moving stuff was what like Max says, where it's
The
like
Mind
more of a
Storms.
robot
Yeah.
Mindstorm
Yeah.
kind of thing, and
They-
not just like a connects like just kind of gears and stuff.
so they were using Mindstorm's motors in this show.
Yeah, they rebranded apparently according to like the toys that made us, is they've taken the Mindstorms and used them differently than they have in the past. Not Mindstorms, but like just like
Yeah.
Connects.
Yeah.
All right. Internet Corner. Lego Creator Expert Ferris Wheel 10247 construction set.
Ooh.
You slowly turn the crank and watch the Ferris wheel gracefully lowers the colorful gondolas into position for boarding.
But you
Raise-
turn the crank.
Raise the platform and a simple pull of the lever, open the gondola door, help passengers aboard. You can also motorize the Ferris wheel with the Lego Power Functions 883 medium motor.
Whoa.
Nice.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
it's on the Amazon.com if you want to go there.
The master builder judge that had the 2019 toy of the year, like the line that he works on is that creator line. I remember when they were showing that.
So, I mean, what is the future of this show? Is it just still these like really long, like really complex builds, or is there like a short, like quick build?
Quick fire challenge.
Because like these competition shows are usually like, hey, do this hour challenge. Okay, you get an advantage. Let's do this really long challenge. Or is it just going to be one challenge every week?
I mean, based on the one episode we saw and the next time on, it seems like it's set up to do one giant challenge every week. But, who knows? Who knows what
Maybe-
games Will Arnett has in store for us?
Maybe it evolves when there are fewer people. Because with this number of people and doing a big build, like there is no room for anything else.
Yeah, there's something fundamentally hard that and makes these competition shows not as good is because of the amount of people in the shows. They really need to do like hey, we have a 14. They need to do what like
The A team and the B team, like
Yeah.
Mass Singer.
Yeah, I need to do like a Mass Singer where you only have a certain number of people. Maybe
Yeah.
like a round robin competition if you need to get like
just
12
do a bracket.
episodes.
Like
Yeah.
do some
Yeah.
kind of bracket
Could be a
and say,
bracket.
okay, on this episode of Lego Master, we got 4 people, and you just kind of work through, and then you're combining people from different groups as you move along, and then you don't have to know that many people at a time.
I'm like a little bit torn about it because like I think that like it does make it a lot harder to get to know all the people and like care about all the individual teams, but like they are definitely optimizing for like showing you the most cool Lego builds like at a time, so you get to see like 10 takes on a theme park and 10 takes on whatever.
I just don't think I get a good indication of what all of these like builds actually were.
Yeah, I guess they didn't even really spend enough time with each of them to really see all
Like
of them.
if you would just like, here's the intro, here's like 5 minutes of everyone building everything, and then 30 minutes of what people made,
That'd be great.
That'd
then
be cool.
like, sure, that's what they were going for.
They
But in this,
basically-
it's mostly them building.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like, hey, here are the people. That's what they're going for. And they only introed 4 of the people. Like, why not just have a 4 people
Yeah.
competition?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well-
like, another thing where as it gets deeper on, there's less people. They might have more focus on some of the building stuff, and
Yeah.
you can't make the challenges too elaborate when you still got the riffraff. You gotta
The riffraff.
You don't want anyone embarrassing themselves out there.
you don't want Duck going in there.
I mean, like, that's another thing is like the show, there's clearly like 4 teams that are just so good. And there's clearly 4 teams that are just, how? What? Why are you here? Like, just, and there's just like some people in the middle that you're like not entirely sure of yet.
This is going to be interesting too, because like on these cooking shows, like they get feedback, and then you can tell some people get better. Like I'm curious, like if you get feedback on this show, like can you really get better in the time frame of the filming of this show?
Well, the
Like
thing
it seems like it needs a lot of
the,
practice.
the only feedback, like there was one very pointed comment of Jamie telling, I think it was the dad son team, when I give you some feedback, you should listen to it. So
True.
they might learn from that. I
Yeah.
guess.
But that was so specific to this one
It was so
thing. So,
specific.
like it's not like on these food shows it's like they give you advice about your flavors, whatever, that can carry through to the next round. Like I'm not sure how much stuff you're getting that's
Yeah.
gonna help you.
Yeah, I mean, like there was a little bit of that. I mean, they're the one guys that like all their pillars and stuff were just like straight stacked blocks. Like they didn't do anything. It's like, oh, you got to kind of dress that up a little bit.
Too much
You gotta-
stacking.
Too much
Yeah.
stacking.
Too blocky, too much stack.
We
Yeah.
need more complex shapes.
Oh, I
Too,
forgot
too
about that.
blocky.
But like, it's curious. Like, if there's moving elements frequently, and some of these people have never done moving elements before, like you'll get better at how
That's
to handle the
true.
moving elements. If moving elements was like that was the big thing for this week, and it's not coming back,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're not going to learn from that. So.
Well, I think that there's a big aspect of we watch an hour of a 15-hour build. So you
Yeah.
don't know how, like, if Jamie and Amy are like walking around like a considerable amount of time, I feel like there's like, hey, or like giving you pointers as they're building. Sure, you'll get better.
Maybe.
But if Jamie and Adam are just like looking over like, that sucks, that sucks.
Do you know what I think
Not
this-
saying anything, then like obviously they're not going to get better.
Do you know what I think the show really needs? The time lapse. That you
Yes,
gotta
I would like that.
you gotta show, and then all of a sudden it goes
Yes.
back to empty, and then like they're just
Yes.
cutting in, and the people are moving at super speed, and you just see the thing get like built.
That
I
would
would
be
love
great.
that.
And like the duck one halfway through just gets taken off and
Yeah.
then starts over, and
That would make the show
Yeah.
another tier, I think.
it would, because
Yeah.
like that's what you want to see. You want to visualize the building process in like a concise way. I think that's how you do it.
For sure. I think that solves one of my problems with this show is like you'd see like them like work on a thing, and then you'd see the whole thing at the end, and there was so much more stuff. And like it's not all explained to you. But that'd be so cool.
are we good for ratings? Anyone got any other minutia they want to go in?
One more thing. So the format of 2 people for team, way too many teams, reminds me a lot of Final Table.
Yeah, it was kind of final table-ish, yeah.
We have not done Final Table. And
Everybody in this room has watched it, though.
I have not.
False.
False.
Some of us save it for the pod.
Oh, no.
So Rob and I have never watched it because we haven't done it on the pod yet.
We've
All right.
suggested it. We get told, nah, we've seen it. Like, well,
I guess it's boys' night where we get a 2-person pod going.
I
I
had
have
one
two
more.
things.
Oh, go. You
Two
go ahead.
things.
I have
So
2
here-
things.
here
Well,
we
one's
go.
very fast. One
Right.
thing is early on in this episode, one woman kicks off her shoes. I think it might have been one of the duck women.
my God.
And is running around the Lego room barefoot, which is horrible.
Dangerous game.
One anecdote. My second thing, we didn't talk about the fact that for some of the final builds, they show a really cool stop motion animation.
Yes.
Where they like go through and like some of the little characters have voices and they do little scenes. Like this was very cool.
Like
And-
basically animated in the style of like the Lego movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely Lego movie inspired. And like when they first put them all back in the middle for Dreamworld, they do a thing where the monorail's going and they kind of animate the whole thing to kind of make it look like real thing. And that was like a nice kind of touch to make it feel like, oh, this is like the vision of what this thing is and stuff.
Yeah.
And it definitely felt like they're, Lego spent a little money on the show. They shelled out for Will Arnett. They didn't shell out for the Everything Is Awesome song, which is a little disappointing. But they're definitely not messing around with the show.
yeah.
I mean, it seemed excessive, but they definitely put money in it. That's for sure.
I'm curious how much of it was real stop motion and how much of it was computer animation.
Oh, it's all computer animated. I'm sure.
Some people said they thought there was some real stop motion,
Oh,
in it,
man.
so.
Oh.
But like Lego Movie is all computer animation. So
Yeah. So, Rob, do you have your minutia or do we go over it?
that was what I was gonna say. Was we
Okay.
got to talk about the CGI stop motion thing because that was a nice cool touch that I appreciated.
All right. So, my rating, I think it's a middle third show. I think it has, potential. I think like Lego creativity is pretty cool. Like, I was like, it's something that I can really connect with on like a personal level. It was just, there's too many people. There wasn't the cohesive of the whole show just didn't fit well. But I liked Will Arnett as like the host to kind of like keep the tone correct. So, middle third. What do you got for us, Max?
Easy top third for me. Placing it in there is hard. Personally, I just love Legos, and this is definitely better than the circle. So top third, middle of the third.
Annabeth, what do you got?
I think this is like top of the middle because I think this is a show that perhaps watching more of it, I will enjoy it more and it will improve. Maybe with less people and
Yeah.
with, like more when you get to see more of the actual builds and more of the stuff that's happening because it's really really cool. But I feel like it hasn't found its footing yet. So top of the middle.
Harrison, what do you got?
I have similar feelings. I think I feel a little bit better about it. I'm gonna go top third with this. I do think for a totally new show, episode 1, like I think it's pretty strong, and like they'll probably work out some of the quirks. I think that Will Arnett's a really good host. Like watching the builds, I would love to see it get a little bit more technical, a little bit more into the technique of some of this stuff, and kind of explain some of this. I'd like to see some diagrams maybe of how some of this stuff is built. But overall, I liked it. It's good.
Yeah.
Rob, what do you got?
I thought there were definitely things that I really liked with the show, but it just had some like really things that stood out that were really annoying. Like, it didn't tell us the stakes. They had some really egregious pre-commercial, post-commercial editing stuff. Will Arnett I thought was kind of up and down. Like sometimes he was pretty good, and sometimes he just was like, "What are you doing, man?" And so I feel it averages out to being in the middle, but like there is definitely top third potential here to clean up some things, and it could be really good. But I can't give it top third.
Yeah, I agree. It could be a top third.
It could be.
It's just like not there.
It feels like it almost has those diagrams of the Legos. Like before everyone, when they were explaining everyone's thing, they had like an illustration of what it was going to be, but it was like really bad. Like if that was like animated and it showed it coming together, like that would have been really cool.
Yeah. So I have Brian. Brian watched the show with us.
All right.
Usual, sometimes host of the pod. He is middle of the middle. Will Arnett isn't a great host. But people can make some cool stuff or try to. Anyway, great background show.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that, I thought that Will Arnett was killing it on this show. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking
At
about.
times he was no
I-
good.
I-
But I think that some of the awkward I think that there was some humor in some of the awkwardness. Like,
There was one thing where like he made some joke about commercials right before it cut to commercials.
yeah.
And then he came back and he said, "Boy, those companies sure know how to advertise their things in funny ways." Anyway, back to Lego Master
Yeah.
Builders. I thought that was a funny
Like-
joke.
Yeah.
Like,
that one was good.
He really sets the tone for the whole thing. Lego is clearly okay with poking fun at itself also, and like, in all kind of works, I think.
I mean, have you seen the Lego movie?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, anyone got any updates?
Oh yeah.
All right, Max, what do you got for us?
90 Day Fiance the other way.
Oh, yeah, I've been watching some of this too.
I've watched 8 episodes. I just don't understand how any of these 6 relationships is going to last long enough for this season to have 22 episodes. It is each and every one of them is so fucked up in its own special way. I cannot recommend enough. Just watching a little bit more or watching episode 1 or listening to the pod, it's just so wild.
Oh, I agree. There's also, I kind of want to make a correction for last week.
Sure.
So, like, we're talking about the Indian couple, or the person moving to India to meet Sumit, and we didn't know, it was unclear, but she did go to India before and met the family, and the family rejected her.
Oh,
So now Sumit is moving away from his family for her in a whole like separate part of town. There's a whole bunch of drama around that. So like she knows what she's getting into.
oh man, it's even more insane than it
Yeah,
seemed
yeah.
last week.
Oh no, it's
It's
even
all of these people are insane. All of them.
he
Oh,
hasn't
man.
told the parents.
I gotta watch more of this.
Yeah.
God damn it.
You have to get you get Emmy in this. You guys
I have
are
no-
done the season.
I have no time to watch this, and I got.
It's so good. Like, and you know, there's like people leaving their kids and grandkids. It's insane. People leaving their kids, like insane.
Yeah.
Like the lady we didn't get introduced to is moving to South Africa or no
No, we
Qatar-
know Qatar, yeah.
Qatar, like leaving her son. Like
He's like
he's-
21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, lady?
Ooh.
That's what I think every time I'm watching all of these shows. And like that's even before they get to these countries. Then they get there and they're like, "What? You don't have a hot shower?" And I'm like, "Well, you fucking moved there. Like, what'd you expect?"
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and then the one guy does a magic show in Ecuador, and they're like, "Are you the devil? Like, what are you doing?"
Oh yeah, they accuse him of using black magic.
That's Corey, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Corey getting
the-
accused of being the devil is just so right for Corey.
Corey's whole situation is pretty bad.
Like,
I mean, it seemed pretty bad last week.
No, like it keeps getting worse and worse and
I'm
worse.
going to give a minor spoiler here.
Yeah.
He's like, he flies Ecuador, obviously, and she's not there to pick him up at the airport. She's like, go take a bus. Like, he's in Ecuador, going to the middle of nowhere. Ecuador takes 2 buses in like 8 hours or something to get there. It's nuts.
I can't see that one ending well for him.
Every confessional, he's like all in, and she's like not.
Can I give you what episode are you on?
I'm on the same as you.
I'm going to give you one more spoiler. It
Okay.
could be worse. You could be rejected a visa for the country for being a terrorist.
Whoa! Oh, I gotta watch this show.
Yeah, this is definitely top third. Spoiler alert for maybe our
It sounds
end
like
of the
this
season.
show might be coming back. The season finale.
end of the season for sure.
Oh man.
It's not a good show, but boy is it entertaining.
So Fox loves beating a dead horse.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Rob, why don't you give us our favorite update?
It's already back.
The monster is back.
There's a lady monster. So I'm not gonna go into all the things. So I'm gonna try to keep it as tight as possible. Mass Singer's back for their special post Super Bowl show. They had a new guest judge, Jamie Foxx.
Good
Great.
get.
Pretty good.
I bet he was
get.
great.
They definitely like shelled out some money for the show. And no surprise, as all guest judges, he was better than all the normal judges. And so he had some good insight into the white tiger. So the white tiger is this tall person. There's some athlete hints. There's some Boston clues. And then there's someone suggests it might be John Cena and stuff. And Jamie Foxx puts out some analysis. It's like, it's Gronk. And as soon as he said it, I'm like, he's definitely right. It's got to be Gronk.
Wow.
And then Gronk, not that good, but not unmasked. So I was like surprised. So I guess I don't know it's Gronk, but like I feel very confident Jamie Foxx nailed this. Unmasked was the robot. And the robot had been like, okay, but it's been kind of a strange performance and stuff. And then it was Lil Wayne.
What?
Lil Wayne, A, was on The Masked Singer. B, was the first of 18 contestants eliminated. They're up to 18 now.
To be fair, whatever he was singing was not his forte.
He probably made a bad song choice. He lost to Gronk.
No.
Singing Ice Ice Baby. Oh, so I feel like there was definitely an injustice here. Because I'm thinking about Fox putting this here, be like, we're going to do our post Super Bowl show, and at the end we'll unmask Gronk, and it's like ties back to the Super Bowl, and there's the Fox synergy because he's a Fox commentator now. This is perfect. Then they freaking kick off Lil Wayne. It's unbelievable. Robin Thicke was like just wandering around disbelief. He like could not believe that they kicked off Lil Wayne.
Because like 2 or 3 of the panelists had worked with Lil Wayne seriously before.
Robin Thicke apparently collaborated with him on like 5 songs before and had no clue. None of them had any clue.
No. Was it really bad, this performance?
It was better than Gronk's. But like I was like when I was like trying to think of like who I was like I definitely think the White Tigers getting kicked off, and I was like, then I guess maybe the robot would be second. Yeah. Like it definitely wasn't great.
Can you remind me the how you get kicked off on the show? Is it the audience in the room?
It's the producers vote somebody off. So that's why
I don't know if I feel the producers kicked off Gronk. They claim that it's a combination of the audience vote, who's in the audience, plus the judges panel.
Okay,
but they do not clarify how this all works.
So they can put their thumb on the scale if they want to.
Yeah,
some sort of Iowa caucus kind of thing.
I mean, it's better managed than that. It sounds like.
So I'm guessing that he didn't rap.
No.
Man,
what song did he do?
I gotta watch that.
You gotta watch it.
I really want to see his performance.
18 people?
So first season was 12, second season was 16. Now there's 18. This thing's gonna go on forever.
They'll just never end it. They'll just start adding more people in.
They're like. They keep doing things to make me think like maybe I should just quit it, and then I watch it and I'm like, and then freaking Lil Wayne gets unmasked and I'm like, oh my god!
Now I gotta watch.
I can't believe you're still on this show. It is so uninteresting.
That's so good.
I can believe it.
All right.
I don't know. When you know who the people are, very interesting.
Yeah, but you don't know. That's the thing.
Well, but if the payoffs are good,
if there's that caliber of people underneath those masks,
usually
anyone could be under there.
Right. If I knew that every episode was going to be the caliber of Lil Wayne, I'd watch the whole season.
No, but the problem is that anyone could be under there. So you have the whole breadth of E, F, G list celebrities to choose from.
That's why I don't.
So you
watch
never know who's under there, and that's the whole point of the show. Anyway.
Nick Gannon gave a clue that there were 9 Super Bowl appearances tonight. I was trying to do were they like some of them anthems and some of that. So the New England athlete, there is a New England athlete who by himself has been in 9 Super Bowls. I don't think it was him. I think it was Gronk. But I felt I had to throw that little minutia out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that would be an insane unmasking, though.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Well, you can find us on Twitter at WhoPutThisOn. You can find us on Facebook.com/WhoPutThisOn. You can email us questions and suggestions at WhoPutThisOn@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time.
Max. Mic check.
Hello, I'm Tuna Popcorn.